and welcome to my little world. So this week we're going to take a look at the other half of the village that's decorated for Christmas, and I'm very excited to show it all to you because I just love it and I think it's beautiful and I just enjoy this time of year so much. So shout out to Yumika and Tora-chan, and welcome to everyone here today who's here to see what I've been doing. So let's get started. And before I do that, let me show you today's sweater. This is a black sweater I had, and I added the lamb to it with crochet. And it also has a tail on the back. So this is my fun sweater for this week. Here's a view of the park and the dress boutique at the beginning of Main Street and my entryway. And I have this beautiful decoration over the entryway. And then over this direction, we have the other part of the village where there's the bakery, the toy shop, the train station, and the tea garden, which is closed up right now since it's too cold to be serving outside. And I have set up my church again. So I have this beautiful writing desk that belonged to my parents, and it reminded me of a church, so I turned it into a church for my dolls. And I used to have the facade sitting in front of it that I now have behind the dress boutique, where we see the preacher and his wife in my videos. But this is the interior of the church, and I'm just leaving it open this way right now. At the top of the church, I have this Madonna, which I think was it has a hole in it for like a flower arrangement that I think my mother got at some point. I have this little angel that I made out of paper hanging at the top. And then I have a picture here that I got from the Metropolitan Art Museum calendar. And these darling little bell ringers, statues that my mother had when I moved into this house. They were packed in styrofoam. And I looked at them and I said, what am I going to do with bell ringers? They didn't really appeal to me. But then I set up my doll church and they were just the perfect addition to it. So I painted these, put together some stair railings and painted them to be the railing up at the top. And that's the top loft of the church. And then we come down to the next part, which is the altar. We have this darling little doll who's singing. I found her at Goodwill. There's a beautiful little nativity scene. A triptych that is from the Metropolitan Art Museum calendar. Again, these two matching angels that were my mother's. And I've set up this little altar with this beautiful handkerchief and this earring, which looks like grapes. And then we have this beautiful blue angel with a Limoges china cup from France. And then next we have the bottom of the writing desk, which I have opened up, and I have taken out the drawers that go in these cubby holes back here, and I've set them up to be the seats, the pews in the church. And we have this doll, which is very pretty. I got her at Goodwill, and she just looked like she was dressed for church. So I put her in the church, and this book was something that came with the doll. It was like a school book, but I added King James to it and made it into a little Bible, actually kind of a big Bible for her to carry. So then behind the pews we have a couple of other little nativity statues. This belonged to my sister's beautiful blue and white one. Here's some of these plastic columns that I like to use, and a Greek statue, a little angel that I made with a wooden bead and some, let's see, what did I make her with? Oh, a clothespin. And then we have another little angel here, Gabriel. We have over here another angel that belonged to my mother, a little Christmas tree, another statue and column, a couple of statues. And then we have this beautiful nativity here, and the writing desk has this light, which I put a piece of foil in front of it to direct the light to the nativity set. And I think I got this nativity at Hobby Lobby. They have some very nice ones. Let's fix that angel. So I just love nativities. They give me such a warm, wonderful feeling. And it's not because I'm particularly religious. I just believe that the birth of every child is a celebration. And that's what nativities remind me of. They remind me of the wonderful feelings that I have being a mother of 6 children, and my grandchildren, and all the wonderful children in the world. And to me, every child that's born is the face of God. So I love nativity sets. They're so beautiful and picturesque. And here's this lovely camel that was my sister's, that she contributed to this nativity scene. And I have these little gates that I put in front of it. When the windows are closed, they make this beautiful design, which also reminds me of a church. I put these Christmas curtains on the wall behind these buildings over here, and I think they look very beautiful and festive. So then we have Millie's Bakery. Millie, of course, has been hard at work baking lots of Christmas goodies. We have a snowman outside serving some milk and cookies. And we have this little girl wearing her Red Riding Hood cape to keep her warm in the winter. Millie's in here with her bowl, baking more cookies, I'm sure. And then she has set up these trays. We have these gingerbread men. These were little picks I bought. It was a package of a whole bunch of them. And I just took the bottom pick part off of the gingerbread men and used them. We still have the caramel apples, more of them that we've had since Halloween. We have some teddy bear mugs. Here's some more of the gingerbread men. Then I bought a bunch of sprinkles that were lots of different shapes, and they worked perfectly. I arranged these candy canes on a tray, and some little round red, white, and green cookies, some snowflake cookies, some even tinier gingerbread men, and some green trees. And we have a couple of great big lollipops over here and some Christmas plates. So that is all set up for people to come to the bakery and buy some Christmas goodies. And she has a beautiful little decoration hanging on her door. I also put decorations on the street lamps. I used some holly leaves and berries and some ribbons for that. I put this white material down on over the brick so it looks snowy over here. And you saw the Toyshop in a video all of its own a couple weeks ago. Next to the bakery and church, we have this beautiful tree that I put up this year, and I decided I wanted to do red and white. I felt the most inspired. I always get inspired by colors and particular ones at particular times, and this year I was very inspired by red and white. So I put lots of red and white decorations on this tree. With a big bow on the top. And at the base, I have a snowman, and I have some elf folk riding in some sleighs. Behind them, I have this snowman. This cord is kind of right in our line of sight here. But I have this snowman and reindeer with some trees. I have my gnomes, which I think are so cute. And this tree. A few years ago, I took the batting out of a bedspread of my mother's, and because the bedspread was too heavy with it. And I've been using it for my snow ever since. And it even had these scalloped edges that have come in very handy for my pieces of snow. I got this Merry Christmas sign and this beautiful backdrop. They make these for like taking pictures, photo ops. And I thought this was such a pretty one. I got two of them and put one in the bedroom and one here in the living room. And so in front of it is the buffet that I've covered with a blanket and some of that batting that I like to use for snow. And so we have these cute snowmen and some trees. Got all those at Hobby Lobby a few years ago. I have this beautiful, beautiful gold sleigh that I got at Hobby Lobby that I've had several years, and these two reindeer that are pulling it. We have the prince and princess in this sleigh, and by the way, they're brother and sister, not married. And I made this beautiful cape for the prince a few years ago. It's made of this yellow satin that I just happened to have, and it has fur on the edge, and then on the inside I just used batting, and I used some trim around the collar and an earring as a clasp. So he enjoys wearing his beautiful cape in the winter time. And then the princess is wearing her green dress with white fur trim. And over here we have the gold Santa that you saw in the Toyshop video. And Babs is over here right now because we were doing a photo shoot yesterday so that I could send some pictures to the lovely ladies that gave me Babs. And she looks so pretty in this setting in front of this building. So we'll put Santa back. Oh, losing a tree there. This batting is a little bit difficult to balance things on. They want to fall over. They don't stand real sturdy on it, but usually it works out okay. So then down here we have some more beautiful trees that I got at Hobby Lobby. And another lovely sleigh, and it has some pine cones and decorations in it. And we have this reindeer pulling this sleigh. And we have this beautiful lady, which was the queen of the night for Halloween, and I thought her outfit looked perfect for Christmas as well. And she's carrying this little lamp, which is a Christmas ornament. Then there's this tree, my blue and white tree. I wasn't planning on doing blue this year. It wasn't particularly attracting me. But when I set up Santa over here and the sleigh next to the castle, I had this backdrop that, again, it's like printed on plastic material. And the colors were so pretty in it, in blue and white, that I decided that I needed to use that as a theme for this side of the room. So then I put my white flock tree up with blue ornaments on it. The sun is shining this morning, giving me some backlighting here, but I'll do the best I can. So then I have this sleigh up in the window there. In front of the castle, I have some nutcrackers, my blue nutcrackers. Keeping guard. And then I also have this gray nutcracker over here in the woods. In front of the fireplace, I have my table and chair that I sit at all the time. I have this lovely angel and this king statue. So he represents the king of the castle, even though he's not with us any longer. And I have this beautiful curtain that, since I was doing blue and white, decided to put this up. It has a lovely Celtic vibe and also kind of a mysterious Christmas air about it. So then over here in this window, I put these curtains. I had a lot of these blue and white things because I did that theme one Christmas. So it worked well for this year. This year I did blue and red in the living room. And below this snowy scene, forest scene, we have my carriage that I made with this lovely horse. My granddaughter was ready to let go of some of her toys since she's growing up, and she didn't want this horse anymore, so I brought it home to pull my carriage. The dollar horses used to pull this carriage, but I think it's much nicer with this horse. And we have this lovely young fellow. This was actually a girl doll that I brought home from Goodwill and cut the hair short and turned her into a boy. And then I made this suit for him. I painted his hands white so they look like they have gloves on. I think I bought him this hat at Hobby Lobby. And I made him a coat with tails. This was I think a satin jewelry bag that had, oh no, this was some fabric that I got at Hobby Lobby in the remnants pile that had these beautiful gold fleur-de-lis designs on it. And so I used them to make him a coat. And I used some white fabric to make his vest and some other white fabric to make the shirt underneath. Those are a couple of little beads that I glued on. These are some half pearl beads that I glued onto his vest, made him the little bow tie. And then his pants are, you can see they're not even, the legs are not even attached in the middle. I've just tucked them in there. This was a little velvet jewelry bag that I took apart, and it had, I added these stripes to the sides. You can see there's some little holes that I never filled that were in the bag. But I just wrapped it around him and tucked it in his legs and added the stripes on the sides. And then he has his little black shoes and this rose pin that I had that I pinned to his jacket. So that is our very dapper and handsome looking carriage driver. I made the carriage using a little wooden cart that's sold as a garden decoration, or you can put little plants in it and things. And it came with the wooden seat here in it. And then I added this. This was a sofa that I got at Goodwill, and I put that in the back. And then I put just some black cardboard on the back of it to be the sunshade. And when I hitch up the horse to it, I use this, which is like a picture or book display. And it fits perfectly to hitch the horse to the carriage. Last but not least today, I have the back of my couch, which I put tree stickers on. And this is the little display of the teddy bears and dolls that were in front of the Fantasy Village. First, we have some really cute gnomes that I got at Hobby Lobby. And then here's the wooden puzzle carriage with some teddy bears in it. And the teddy bear in the little picnic pony and cart. And then this is new. This is a new little Cinderella carriage that I got at Hobby Lobby. It's made out of wire, plastic coated wire, I think. I had these ponies that are pulling it. And we have put the little wedding couple inside that Gretchen gave me from Little Gretchen's workshop. And then we have this gnome down at the end. So that is all for this week. And next week will be Christmas Day, the day that I post my video, and that will be a beautiful view of nighttime in my village at Christmas. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.